One of the most common things I hear during warmer months is, I need to go get electrolytes. It's getting hot, so I should probably start feeding electrolytes. And while summer heat absolutely increases electrolyte losses, horses don't suddenly need sodium and chloride because the weather got warmer. Horses have a daily requirement for these nutrients 365 days a year. Summer simply increases the amount many horses require. Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Haar, owner and independent equine nutritionist at BCS 5.0 Equine Nutrition. Today I want to talk about sodium and electrolyte requirements, some of the most common mistakes I see horse owners make, and how workload and sweat losses can influence what your horse may need. So let's just start with the basics. Sodium and chloride are essential nutrients that play roles in hydration, nerve function, muscle contraction, and just overall health. The challenge is that most forages are naturally low in sodium, which means horses depend on us to provide additional salt to help meet their daily requirements. And those requirements exist every single day of the year. This is why I often tell horse owners that electrolytes are not just a summer supplement. Summer doesn't create the need for sodium and chloride, it simply increases the amount many horses require because of increased sweat losses. So let's talk about some of the most common mistakes that I see. The first mistake is assuming electrolytes are only needed during the summer months. Many owners don't think about sodium supplementation until those temperatures start to climb, but horses require sodium and chloride year-round. Summer just tends to expose the deficiencies that may already exist in the feeding program. The second mistake is assuming that having a salt block automatically means requirements are being met. Some horses consume salt from a block, others consume very little, or won't lick or even touch them at all. Simply having a salt source available doesn't necessarily tell us how much sodium the horse is actually consuming. The third mistake is assuming every horse needs the same electrolyte program. This is where workload and sweat losses become incredibly important. A retired pasture horse, a trail-ridden horse, occasionally, and a performance horse training multiple days per week can all have very different electrolyte requirements. When horses sweat, they don't just lose water, they lose electrolytes, including sodium and chloride. So as the sweat losses increase, requirements increase, and while sodium and chloride are often the electrolytes most horse owners think about, and it's important to remember they aren't the only electrolytes involved actually. Potassium, calcium, and magnesium also play important roles in muscle function, nerve transmission, hydration, and just overall performance. For many horses, forage can provide significant amounts of potassium, calcium, and magnesium. However, in harder working horses with greater sweat losses, these nutrients become increasingly important to evaluate as an overall part of the feeding program. That's one reason why I always encourage owners to look at the entire diet rather than focusing on a single supplement. The goal is to understand what the horse is receiving from forage, feeds, supplements before deciding what additional support may be needed. This is why there's a no one-size-fits-all recommendation. Things like workload matters, environment matters, sweat losses matter, forage matters, and the individual horse matters. At a minimum, every horse should have access to just plain old salt. From there, electrolyte supplementation should be evaluated based on the horse's workload, management, environment, and overall feeding program. If there's one takeaway I hope you remember from today's video, it's this. Electrolytes are not just a summer supplement. They are a foundational part of your horse's nutrition program year-round. And summer is simply the time when many owners start to think that their horses need more. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more practical science-based equine nutrition education. And if you'd like help evaluating and balancing your horse's feeding program to ensure electrolyte needs are being met, I'd love to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.